So, welcome back to Rufus Duck Adventures. We're out on the Pembrokeshire coastline today. I'm going to be doing a review of my Vango radon UL1 tonight when I set it up. Hopefully camping somewhere out there. Anyway, I'll bring you back when I get the tent out of the rucksack. Cheers. You know, this is the reason I have tents and a wild camp. Brings me places like this. Absolutely stunning. So here we are with the Vango radon UL1. I've just set the inner up. I was out on it last night and it got a little bit damp. It was it sat through a storm all night last night, so a little bit of rain taking it down this morning, so it got a little bit damp, but nothing too much. And so there's the bag, series 1 F10, and it comes with 12 of these beautiful gold V pegs, again about 6 inches long, all in their little bags. So moving on to the tent, it has the usual 3-pole hub system, so a little bit different to the usual 4-pole ones, which usually have 2 poles here. This has just a single spine pole going all the way up over into the 2 at the back. These are quite high and quite wide, so this gives about, I think it's about 900 mil across the head end, 2.1 internal, and then I think it's about 800 mil here. Certainly plenty wide enough, and then as you can see, a big O-ring door, and then this just clips on with these little red clips. And Vango simplified this hub system with just a cross bolt bar. Again, like a lot of the other Vangos, plenty of clipping points going down the poles. Yeah, and as you can see, it has a solid top, the DWR coating, so if this does get wet from condensation building up on the inside of the tent and it shakes and it drops into the inside of your tent, none of it actually works through in there. It just runs down here and off. And I can give testament to that from last night. I was bone dry inside and it was howling outside. So ground sheet is a 70 denier polyester fly sheet, and that was awesome last night. I had a big puddle literally about there, and no water got into it, so and I had water droplets all up the side of it. Good job it comes up 4 inches, because it needed all of that. But yeah, great. As you can see, it's got the TBS or TBX system in the back here. That is to stabilize this in this sort of direction. Seems to work. And then there is, I have it untied at the moment, you can see it down there, but that comes from the bottom of there and diagonals up to this point here, or up to that point there, depending on how you want it. Right then, so I'm going to get this fly sheet on, and then we'll take a look at that. So here we go with the fly sheet on now. That's it, fully pegged out and guyed out. Beautiful green colour, that dark Vango green. What's it called? I think it's called Alpine Green. I love it. It really does blend in beautifully. Certainly in midsummer, when the greens of the woodland is a lot paler than it is now in spring. But yeah, it's Vango's 15 denier sil nylon. Strong, tough, does the job. Has a nice big vent here, as you can see, with a little prop at the back leading through. So this will be the head end. We have 2 guy lines with line locks on them, supporting the poles instead of a single one from here, which doesn't really support anything. So this is a better location for them. It comes with comes with colour-coded ends, blue on this end and an orange on the other end, and then these just crank up when you want to pull the tie down. There's just in here, there's a little Velcro tab, one there, one there, and then on the main pole there are two, one almost here and one further over. I don't think there's a Velcro tab along this section. Yeah, so yeah, it makes it pretty stable in the wind from this direction. The wind, if you were gonna pitch into the wind this way, because you've got the two guy lines, the two poles. This here is my own little addition. I've got a little crocodile clip on there, just gives it a little bit more airflow underneath. Otherwise, this whole area just kind of flaps up against the inner tent. And they have one on the two-man version, but not on this one-man version. And I kind of felt it needed, so I did that. And that looks like it held up well in the wind last night. Little guying out point here. Again, I put another little piece of cord on it just to extend it a bit more, give you a little bit more airflow, and it does give you a little space between the inner. As you can see, the inner's back there now, and you could store a little bit in there if you needed to. But as we go around, you'll find that the vestibule on this is plenty big enough. So you got 2 points here, and then the pole comes into this section here. This is my own little peg, an extra peg, because I've put that one on the other end, and I peg that back the ways to stop that pole from coming this way too much. There we go. Right, as you can see, of the fly, we have two just onto here. No clip at the bottom because doesn't need it. And then we have 1, 2, 3 Velcros, and it is top zipped. I'll just open that up now and show you how that looks. So that's the door open, as you can tell. I pull this side back, there's a little toggle there, but if you want to, you can tie this one back and toggle it up that way. I was using that door last night. Tonight I seem to be favouring this one. Either way, you find that there's a little bit more space here than there is. This is a little bit longer, so you have a little bit more space. So this is a little bit shorter, and this gives you direct access into what will be the head end and the wider part of the tent. As you can see, the inner door folds back absolutely huge into its own little dump pocket and gives you a massive wide open space inside. Here's the vestibule. So the vestibule is 200, 400, nearly 600 millimeters wide, down to probably 4 inches at that end. So yeah, quite a nice size vestibule. I have this little very thin that cheap tarp material, one of the thinnest grades you can get of it, and it's great. It weighs about 100 grams for covering the entire footprint of the tent, and it gives me a little porch area and keeps a little bit of just protects the underside of the tent a little bit. Doesn't need it, that ground sheet is more than enough, but sometimes when you're on rocky ground, it's useful. I camped out in Wales last year, and the ground that it was on was really spiky. I had almost like little cactus tails or something. They're really spiky, and I was really glad to have this that took the brunt of these spikes instead of my ground sheet. So yeah, it's a worthy addition. So anyway, moving inside. Looks like I'm fighting chickens. Anyway, at the head end, 900mm across, 2 big pockets, TX system. This works quite well. Never really needs tightening up or slackening off. It just sits there and does its thing. And then up in the head, there are 2 little Dorito pockets. These are dead useful. I put my watch up there, and my thermometer up there, and my head torch up there, and then in here I put all my bags for my tent bag, and you know, all my sleeping bag and all that sort of stuff. So really, really useful. Spinning round to the back end, as you can see here, you've got the mesh, and that's where you see the TBS system will come up here. They connect onto here, or it can connect on here right at the apex of the tent. So looking through onto the door, this door has a nice little feature on it. So you get this little, do it one-handed. Little stay. And what this is for is when you zip this door down, there's a little Velcro tab on here. A little Velcro tab on here, there it is. And it allows you to stick that to that. And when you zip the top door down, it creates a nice little ventilation point. So on nice hot summer nights, you just do that and you get another vent, a high level vent here. This, if you can see it, it's difficult with the light, is a pocket. Do it this way. It's a pocket, and that's for your trekking pole. You can put your trekking pole up into there like that, down to this point here, and stabilize this in strong wind. It was windy last night, I didn't actually use it. And additionally, on the outside, well, you could push the trekking pole in from, if you had two trekking poles, push it in from this here and then wedge it up in there, or as Vango show it, they have a little loop on the outside where the guy line goes in, and you can have it on the outside of your tent. I think either one would work. I'd probably have it on the inside. Yep. So about headroom, there's loads of headroom in here. It's one of the reasons I love it. You've got this width across here. This is probably 500 mil wide, and at the apex, I reckon, well, I'm 5'10" and I can sit up with that much above my head, so it's got to be nearly a metre high in here. And I can also sit up over there, and I can sit up with my head all the way to this point here, and between here and by the apex to here, I reckon is 1.2 meters. So you've got 1.2 meters by nearly 500 wide here. It's a big space. I can one of the things I don't like is struggling for a headroom and move around space. I had my little chair that you've just seen outside in here last night, sitting in my chair and sorting out my socks, making myself some food. I can put my little ground chair in here and sit up in it comfortably, stretch out and do what I need to do. So for a one-man tent, it's really big, it's really wide across here. You know, this is loads of space. I mean, you could sleep in it, head end, this end, foot end, if you wanted to. There's plenty of room there. I'm not going to put my boots in there now, but trust me, I sleep on a double sleeping mat, 6 inches of air mat, and my feet don't touch this up here. And my head at this end, as you'll see, it's really vertical. This is a really straight up and down, so your head can be all the way up here, and it's not a problem at all. Yeah, I love the internal space on this. It's one for a one-man tent. It's spectacular. It really is. I love it. So this tent comes in at 1.5 kilograms on the nose. I had that. Comes in about 1.6, and another peg for that little bit. Yeah, still just about 1.6 kilograms. I think for the size and the strength of the tent and the usability, the living space, the porch and the interior, while still having a small footprint, you know, one of the things I like about it is it's like asymmetrical. So this side is, you know, it doesn't project out, give you a vestibule that you can't really use. It doesn't have it. It only has one on this side. So I like that. The footprint for getting it in tight little spots is ideal, whilst giving you enough inside. Anyway, I think that'll do for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Something a little bit different out on the trail, and I'll bring you back for another one soon. All right, well, thanks very much for watching. Goodbye. I thought just before we go, I'll just show you this. So this is me all set up for the evening now. And as you can see, I got my Osprey Exos 48 in there. No problem at all. You know, I've got room down here for a few more bits and bats. I tend to put my cooking equipment up there and water bottles when I'm finished. Boots can live in here or at this side when I'm in and out. So loads of room to get in and out. As you can see, I run 2 seated summit mats because I like to be comfortable. And there's my sleeping bag, and I'm still nowhere near the foot end, and loads of room up at the head end, and you can just about make out that little area down there if you needed to squeeze a few more bits in if you wanted to. Yeah, so that's that. It's a I have to say, of all my tents, and I've got a lot of them, as you'll see, eventually. This is my number one backpacking one-man tent. It's my go-to. I take this more often than anything else because it gives me the strength and it gives me the size. Yeah, it was really cold last night. There was a little bit drafty coming through. It was very windy night, but it wasn't unbearable. I only had my sleeping bag and my leggings on and a few other and a jumper on, and I wasn't unbearable in there. And it got down to what, about 2 degrees C last night, so very cold. And yeah, it was okay. Helinox chair, I've got to do a review on that. I don't go anywhere without it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. See you soon. Bye bye.